The snare had his leg. A young gray wolf writhed in the snow, the steel cable biting deeper every time he fought it. His paw bent at a wrong, sickening angle. Blood streaked the white. Steam rose from his muzzle and vanished into the cold. The forest stayed indifferent. Only wind, distance, and silence. No pack answered. No shadow approached. The world was collapsing into pain. He did not know human time. He knew hunger, cold, and the clean map of scent across snow. He knew the way a rabbit's trail drifted soft and promising. He knew the crack of branches that meant danger. But he did not know the trap until it closed. One moment, he stepped toward the fence line, following scent and instinct. The next, the wire snapped tight around his leg, metal biting through flesh. He thrashed once, twice, each struggle tightening the loop, each breath shallower than the last. He would not survive long, not alone. Evan Brooks found him because the valley was quiet enough to hear pain travel. He drove the logging road because the morning had nothing left for him. The job was gone, the layoff notice still on his phone. Driving was easier than the silence at home. Then he heard it, a cry, raw and broken, cutting through the cold. Evan cut the engine. Silence sharpened around him. He heard it again. At the edge of the pines, the wolf lay half buried in snow, the cable locked tight around his leg like teeth in metal. Evan crouched, breath catching. The bolt cutters lay in the truck bed, a tool from years of fence work, heavy and familiar. He set them down on the snow first, blades open, letting the wolf see the honesty in his hands. The wolf watched him with the last of his guard raised. His lips curled weakly, not in warning but in instinct. He had enough strength left to bare teeth, not enough to run. Evan spoke softly, his voice threading through the cold. "Easy. I'm right here." The wolf caught the scent of diesel, old leather, human salt, and fear. None of it the sharp, bitter smell of a trapper. The wolf let him come closer. Evan slid the blades beneath the cable. The metal clung to the glove like ice burn. The wolf tensed, every muscle pulled tight. Evan steadied his breath. Snap. The cutters closed with a crack that split through the clearing. The wolf flinched, folded into the snow, then tested the freed paw. Trembling, he pushed up onto shaking limbs. He limped toward the trees, each step a fight against pain. At the tree line, he stopped. Snow drifted between them like falling ash. The wolf looked back, longer than instinct required, longer than any wild animal should. The moment pressed hard against both their ribs. Then the wolf slipped into the pines, gray folding into gray. Evan knelt long after the wolf was gone. The cut cable chilled his palms. He hurled it into the truck, startled by his own anger. He didn't know why helping one injured animal made his whole life. Bills, silence, unread messages, come into focus. He just knew he couldn't go home yet. Spring edged the valley and retreated. Evan took odd jobs, patching roofs, tightening hinges, mending fences, but he returned to the forest whenever he could. Not to find the wolf, but because the road asked nothing of him. Signs of the wolf appeared like scattered lines, broad tracks, gray fur on a barb, snares set like teeth. Once, Evan almost stepped into a fresh loop. He sat on a stump afterward, hands shaking, anger and shame burning through him. He started calling the wolf ash in his head, the color of his coat, the memory of his breath drifting like smoke. A name made the story feel less like a coincidence, more like a beginning. He lifted his head and released a low, rolling call that filled the ravine. The pack answered, weaving their voices until the valley felt held. The sound moved through Evan, unfastening something he'd kept shut for months. It wasn't praise, wasn't thanks. It was present. A declaration. A map of belonging drawn in sound. The next morning, rangers found torn traps, severed loops, scattered fibers, human and wolf prints. circling the truck where someone had slept. They questioned Evan. His palms were raw. He said little, and they left with a mix of suspicion and respect. From then on, their tracks intertwined. Evan's prints ran with the wolves, a quiet conversation in snow. Ash watched him work, sometimes close, sometimes from the trees, eyes steady and knowing. Then came the morning Ash found the worst line yet, a funnel of wire leading toward the river, arranged to corral anything that walked into a narrow kill path. He moved the ridge fast, leaving his route for the pack. They fanned out through the geometry, snapping wire with teeth and paws, tugging coils loose, dragging them across the snow. Where they couldn't sever the cable, they pushed warning into the wind, sharp barks, sudden appearances, motion meant to flush trappers from their hiding places. A wild counter to a brutal design. Evan found the funnel and went straight to the Rangers. They raided the site that afternoon and arrested a man with wire in his pockets and snares in his truck. Evan watched from the tailgate as evidence piled up. Something inside him loosened, not relief, but a sense that the fight finally had direction. Winter deepened. The Rangers hired locals to clear traps. Evan picked up shifts, just enough to get by. The wolves kept moving. Ash's limp settled into a patient rhythm. His world widened again. Over ridges, along riverbeds, through the safe paths the pack reclaimed. The final return came on a cold, blue afternoon. The pack paced beside Evan's truck up the ridge, silent and sure. Ash moved at the center, his scar unmistakable. At the clearing, he stepped closer and met Evan's eyes. No thanks, just a shared moment, breath to breath, past to present. Ash lifted his head and sang. The pack joined, their voices rolling across the ridges until the valley felt too full for silence. Evan stood in it, the sound folding around him. It didn't fix everything, but it rearranged something inside him, quietly, irrevocably. He thought of the steel cable months ago, the long nights cutting wire beneath moonlight, the prints braided with his across snow. Wolves do not ask for thanks. Their call meant something simpler. Keep the routes open. Cut the wire where you find it. Follow the map. Evan drove on, bolt cutters beside him. Snow drifted like breath through the headlights. In the mirror, the wolves eased back into the pines. Ash paused once, steady and dark-eyed, then vanished with his pack into the trees. A snare had once held a single leg. Now the road behind them lay clean. The last howl thinned into the falling snow. Ash stepped sure-footed into the white. And somewhere in the valley, a quiet, watchful gratitude lingered. Evan rubbed his raw hands, felt something fierce and steady take root, and kept driving.